Mortdog says, happy patch day. I know the set revival comes on a bit later today. That means that there's exactly 4 weeks until the next set is on PB. Exciting stuff. We're finalizing the set. Things are going well. Great to hear. What's on your dream wish list to see? Where do you want to see TFT go? Where do I want to see TFT go? I want TFT to be a game where it feels like it's for everyone, but perhaps most importantly, it's a game for me. Because I feel like a lot of where TFT is, I keep having to say, well, I understand why you're making that decision, but I want me to be happier. But that's, of course, a very selfish request. And what does that even mean? It usually means making things that are good for the competitive scene and for the longevity of the game, but also making it fun, which sometimes feels like it's hard to do both. First response, augment stats. I get it for sure. I know folks really love them, but I do stand by the removal. That being said, I've got some thoughts here I'll be sharing next month. Okay, so Mortdog might be sharing some thoughts on augment stats. Is it on the dev learnings article? Wishful thinking, but be able to put units on the field when your bench is full, even if you're over the cap. That's an interesting one. I don't know many people that actually want that. I feel like that's not exactly like one of the ones that I care the most about, but Moore says it likely won't happen. It was in the original auto chess and we tested it, but it turns late game into wild APM checks, and we don't think that makes the game very healthy. Can it be done for champions and orbs to be placed on the board? When I have a pair or playing reroll comp, getting needed champion from the orb is great, but now it's often weird optimization to see most of them feels forced to just get gold. Interesting. Let me think on this more. Certainly can't make a change like this for set 16, but I'll think it through and consider it with the team. Okay. So orbs that you can pick up that don't turn into gold. I think that might be something interesting as well. Question. Someone with Vi augments 2-star in my lobby at 2-1 is playing her on the bench to lose streak. Is it objectively wrong to not farm with Vi? It just depends, but that sounds wrong. Yeah, that sounds wrong. But like they might have a good reason for it. I would say that it's probably most of the time, like 80 to 90% you should be playing Vi to win streak. Psycho says less overcompensation for nerfs and buffs. I know you do it on purpose to avoid people being pissed off by formerly OP unit being balanced, but winning, but it still feels so unrewarding to fully hit a comp and being utterly useless compared to a meta comp. Mordex says, I understand the pain about balance dashing for sure. It's a challenge to get right, but I'm working with the team to help communicate just how painful it is for folks. Learning a comp only having to be non-viable 2 weeks later is a mega churn moment. It's true. I feel like I think a lot of people experience that this set. I mean, I didn't stop playing, but I know some people who feel like that is a huge thing. One more thing would be maybe to move away from best in slot items. Ashe, as an example, she was a Rageblade, Kraken, or Bush champion until she got her value shifted. Would love to see more champions current like Ashe at the start of the set, or at least faster than 70% into a set. The current Ashe right now? I mean, the best part about TFT with the itemization is that they're relatively balanced. The bad part about it is that it's not that flexible. But theoretically, you want to be able to create something like Ezreal could hold things like a Rageblade and a Kraken, and you can actually play more than just one unit, which seems to be Ashe. Although in the past, it was Jinx. So you theoretically could have Jinx and Ashe, and then theoretically into Twisted Fate. But in reality, right now, this is just basically on one unit, which is Twisted Fate. You don't really want to play Ashe right now unless you're low rolling. And you really don't want to be playing this on like Volibear. You might want Kraken on Volibear, but someone else. Like maybe you have him as an item holder and you split it. But theoretically, you want to be able to actually have a home for some of these, and you don't have to just play for one unit only. There is a little bit of versatility, though, right now. I would say, like, for example, if you start off with Shojin and Giant Slayer, that's pretty generic. There's a couple people. The Jinx wants this. Samir, like Samir wants this. Jinx wants this. You could play it on Karma. It's not the worst to, like, split it up on some other carries as well, like your backliners, right? Like, all these units could theoretically hold it. Zyra. So, like, more stuff like that, but the problem is it's very item specific, so I think they're right. A leveling system like Rift, but specifically for TFT. Having a non-ranked progression system for TFT would be sick, I won't lie. Wait, so they want like how you get level 30 before you can play ranked in Summoner's Rift? Sonic Jumper says, I'd like to see character selection as part of unique effects, a bit like Legends or Ocean, but augments aside. Very difficult to implement since I guess probably one character would be the meta and maybe some comps would require a specific character. So he wants more things like Legends. We explored pre-game choices in Set 9 with Legends, but if it's not perfect, both in practice and perception, then it's actually pretty harmful for the game-to-game variance. We wanted to explore the space, but the quality barrier is very high. Yeah, so the issue with this is that most people who want this experience want everything to change around them, but nothing to change for the person that's playing it. So Sonic Jumper says, I want to be able to click. I want to be able to click Ornn every game and play Portable Forge every game, and it'll be interesting for me. And I want everybody else to be playing flex TFT and playing reroll 1, 2, 3 cost and playing 4 cost and 5 cost, or just finding ways to play open. Because for them, that's interesting. They view TFT like a single player experience. But the difficulty is that if that ends up being the case and everyone chooses that, it ends up just being very static because everyone just chooses they pre-select what they want to play. So what he's describing is actually better for what he actually identified, which is the Aushin experience. Let me sort by bench by type value. Let me see interest level and player health UI. Let me quickly add multiple changes to trait by clean planner and blue fire. So he just wants more quality of life changes. Sort bench, I'm not sure it's worth the extra UI button. That's true. You don't want too many buttons. It just overwhelms players. Interest on the UI. Again, I'm sure not worth muddying the UI, but I think player level needs to be there. Fair enough. I do think team planner could be more robust. I would like a more robust team planner. Add blue fire for players on a 5 loss streak. We've gone back and forth with this one. I'm down to try it personally. Okay. UI for loose streaking. It's interesting. Lauren says, I'd love for flex play to be more viable more often. Set 10 was a wildly acclimated success, and part of that. It's a huge appeal to TFT to be able to mix and match comps and quickly pivot if you don't hit. Inflexibility is the pain point in set 15 more than balance. So I understand why people say that, but flex in set 10 was largely due to the mechanic of chosen. Like, the reason why flex even exists is because you just had to roll one time and you got offered a 2-star 4 cost, which is a huge spike for comps. Imagine if you can roll down in stage 4 for a 2-star Jinx and then you miss, so you roll down instead and find 2-star Samira in one shop. That is why flex play existed. It was a complete inflation of economy and resources. Imagine you just had 2 dupes on the bench that you got for free if you sold your unit. That's how much insane econ was in it for set 10. So, like, the idea of, like, flex play in set 10 has to be, you have to sort of remember that it's coupled to the set mechanic. It's like, flex was actually very fake in set 10. Outside of, like, Heartsteel, and I think maybe, like, the pentakill comp. Because, like, everything else was pretty much the same thing, which is, you just played Superfan plus whatever your headliner was, or you would just play like Heartsteel. That was pretty much set 10. So I think people like really misremember what set 10 was in terms of the flex dynamic of it. More says this is a major focus for me right now. I've been defining flex as you react to things in your shot that make you change your plan. I think that's a big thing that needs to be back in TFT. Agreed. Well said. I'm going to like that tweet. Less overall damage to the game, less insane BIS combination like Veteran Jana or Cost Zooter that's more or less increase the power chance by 69,420% compared to worse option. Moore says, I think this will be true. A lot of this stems from the extra access of multiplicative power that was present in recent sets. Taking steps to pull that out so it's less punishing for not having perfect setups. Yeah, I agree. I think part of what makes TFT sort of feel the way it is right now is that there's so much power in the game that it feels like part of the reason why flex doesn't really, quote, exist is because if you play anything suboptimal, you get smashed by the things that are like optimized, right? The right power up with the right augment with the right items. I think that's another thing too. That I don't know if it necessarily means less overall damage in the game, but the risk that they run is that the game becomes less exciting. I really don't want more splashable units like mentors and 3 trait champs. If the 3 traits aren't unique, they become too valuable to the point where it discourages flex. Threats fills his role much better. That is really interesting. I don't agree with that. I think synergy building is an important part of TFT, and so what he's saying, he just wants more threats and less splashable units. I think that makes the game less interesting, but I do think that threats are good. Moore says, interesting. I feel like both have their place. Agree, threats units serve this very well, but I do think 3 trait champs are important to open up more lines of reaction. Yeah, I agreed. Three trait champs increase your ability to bridge different synergy trees together. Because if there are fewer of these 3 trait champs, that means you are much more committed to a line. It means you're much, much more committed to a line. You play your Soul Fighter and you don't have anything else to get out of it, so you just have to play the Soul Fighter. I guess that's also technically not true if they make Soul Fighter so weak that doesn't matter, though. Anything to say about having more support-focused unit design again in the future? I still find it pretty boring with the majority of my board exists for minimal purpose besides trait botting. I have a ton to say on this, but can't quite yet. Okay. So Mortdog is open to bringing more support units. I'll wait as long as it takes for food fight tactics to become a reality. Oh, he says never. No, the thing is, food fight tactics isn't never. It's a in case of emergency button. They'll make food fight tactics the moment they realize TFT needs. It's like the in case of emergency, rainy day. Less one champion hypercarry with turbo biz to form an entire comp. This is the kind of what I'm talking about. This is actually sort of thing that I would say. Hero augments are the one exception. Moore says, I'm not sure I agree with this. I think comps will often have a primary carry and a primary tank, and then support units as you get more items. Unless we're talking about how they carry. In that case, it's more case-by-case analysis. I think they're talking about like how everything is personally funneled into one champion, like raid item and artifact. Will they be releasing this Faker Chibi? They already did a Faker Chibi. Oh, you're talking about like, will they bring it back? Will SKT1, T1 Oriana be on the Treasure Realms rotation or Team Chibis are one-time only? My current understanding is that any cosmetic can rotate back and be available. Okay, so it'll come back eventually. I mean, if you have $500, you can swipe for the Pike one right now. The Pike one's pretty cool. Where's the Pike? Treasure Realms? I mean, it's pretty dope. Look at that. Wow, T1. I think the consensus is that last sets haven't really been a whole lot of fun, not made well. Fruit's mechanics are bad, bugs galore. Then we hear that people are working on 10 sets in advance. Just doesn't feel like the priors make a great set, which isn't true. Moore says, I get it. There's a ton of complexity behind it, and running a team of 150 to 200 folks is a challenge. That's crazy. TFT has a huge dev team now. 200 people? At the end of the day, what matters is delivering the best game. We'll be digging more into it in the future, but for now, I'll say my main focus is a great set. Dude, 200,000 folks. Oh, sorry, 200 folks. Because I was thinking, like, what if you just pay them all a reasonable salary? That's pretty expensive, man. A 200 dev team. Let's just say... I don't even think that's true, but let's just say that they pay every employee costs $100,000, which I think is a reasonable assumption given a lot of them are in Santa Monica, but it's probably cheaper around the world. Times 200, that's $20 million. That's probably I'm probably undershooting it by like a lot, especially because some people are probably worth more than that. My God, the TFT costs a lot of money, man. So what do you do? What are you waiting for? Buy some chibis. They need our help. I know that's hard, but can we either bring back mid-sets or add something new, refreshing the last 2 months every set? For me, it feels like sets gets boring by the end of the set. Even though the set is great, it's okay. Let's go next. Right? Moore says, this is totally valid. I don't think mid-sets are coming back, and we're trying to add some stuff halfway through, but nothing will quite hit as hard as a full set. I think we need to take a big strides at making sure it's fun as long as we can. Modes and revivals help as well. It's true. I think that if they make another mode that feels like it's as fun as TFT, that'd be really helpful. The issue, because I think mid sets should not come back. Mid sets are really flat, and sometimes they make sets worse because they change a bunch of things just for the sake of changing it. There's been many sets that they've done mid sets for that actively downgraded things because they just felt like they had to, like 9.5 to 9, for example. PV is the best part of TFT, in my opinion, so whatever new variation comes with that. Aoshin's descent was incredible. I'm excited to see what else the team cooks up. Moore says, yeah, the modes cooked with Aoshin. We're glad people loved it. I think they're taking away some key learnings and looking at main steps that just ended. It's good to know. I actually really like PV. I think PV is a thumbs up for me, man. I think the PV, I actually responded to it saying that I think that, you know what I would love? You know what I would love for a TFT PV thing? I would love a community workshop of some kind, because I think that they could rely on community creativity. And then that's like a way that they can make PV really interesting. Like if they found a way to make some kind of map builder or map editor or something like that for the community, that'd be really, really cool. And then people can clear on it's almost like Mario Maker. People just make their own TFT challenges. And then naturally, because of the way people's creativity works, we'll get some really good stuff. I think it's completely valid for a 4-month set to become boring after 2 months just because a lot of people spam 100 hours in the first few weeks. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's also an argument that you should make a 4th set in TFT, but that'd be too aggressive, I think. I think that's too much, because then quality assurance is going to continue to go down. More prismatic combat. Please, more. Like, even until this day, Refactor relics are still the most reliable pick for a prismatic augment. Yes, the lack of 4-2 prismatic combat augment is the pain point for sure. Shout out to Ken, who's working hard to get the augment system ready for next set. Okay, yeah, because right now, prismatic augments are actually... I actually think prismatic augments after the beginning of the game are not that interesting. I don't know if you guys actually take a look at it, but there's a lot of junk there that's not that interesting. And you have to take some stuff like mess hall and you're like, eh. Or you take like an item augment and you're like, okay, cool. Hire a part-time TFT player that just plays many games and live reports bug, augments not working, and inform community as soon as possible. Moore says this is not a solution, sadly. A lot of bugs are found because we have millions of players in games each day. A team of the best players playing live won't have the sample size to accurately find all the bugs. That said, game quality is a major focus right now. Good, because game quality has definitely not been good so far in set 15. That's one of my biggest complaints, right? I guess what they're saying is, why don't you just like hire a streamer who just like knows all the bugs? Because there's also another element of things, which is they also need people to not only find the bugs but also fix the bugs. And there's still a lot of bugs currently in this set that makes me think that Riot can't fix a lot of the bugs. I'm starting to think Riot has bug problems with fruits, and they're not able to fix it. Or they just hire Leduc. Yeah, true. But yeah, it's not as simple as just like find the bugs. We a lot of us know the bugs, but like replicating it, fixing it is a different issue as well. No Pengu mode this set. The mode where you start with 5 and a 4 cost to get rewards. Chonk's Treasure is what he's talking about. Chonk's Treasure usually comes in the last patch, is also in 4 weeks. Okay, so we're gonna add Chonk's Treasure at 15.8. Would there be any change to double up, or it's finished as a mode? Nothing in the immediate future. Our last update put in a pretty solid spot. Open to any specific things you want to see, though. Always possible. We're not where we need to be yet. I mean, I don't think double up is that interested in the game mode right now. I do think it has potential. I did find out a pretty fun fact the other day. The #1 double up player in the world right now, the #1 solo queue player is at 2,000 LP, which is pretty good. Low population size in their servers, but it's pretty cool. The #1 double up player in the world has officially hit 10,000 LP. 10,000 LP. 5 digits, right? So now you have a tier of TFT players who literally can flame other players for being 4 digits. 10,000 LP. Oh my God. And the reason why is because in double up, you get fixed LP. No matter what, if you get first, you get 30. If you get second, you get plus 15. If you get third, you get minus. If you get third, you get minus that 30 LP. If you get fourth, you get minus like a lot as well. Minus 45. It's a set fixed amount. But if it was in solo queue, if you got like a first at 4,000 LP, you get 11 LP, right? They guaranteed. In fact, you probably lose LP overall. So the fact that they guarantee you and double up is yeah. It's pretty easy to farm LP. If they made double up more competitive as opposed to the 10,000, I'd be more interested in that. I think vertical traits to make you feel more. This set, for example, has Star Guardians and other one I forgot, Laugh Out Loud, which basically gave the stats, which is not really exciting to hit 8 breakpoints. Star Guardian is special because it's flexible in theory, but yeah. So this person wants more vertical traits to feel more. Certainly this is our goal with Origins, not so much classes. It's a challenge though, as pretty much every output can be boiled down to stats if you abstract that enough. Still, Origin design is where we spend a good chunk of time trying to innovate. I think what he's trying to say is he wants the verticals, the Origins to feel exciting besides just stats. But that's something that TFT is going to continue to have to innovate on, because in the end, Mortdog is right. Everything just feels like it's stats. But that's, I guess, a design challenge. And if people aren't excited, then people won't play. As long as it's fun, that's all that matters. So much of the last few months, the game hasn't been fun. It would be nice to play the game purely for fun rather than feeling forced to play something you're not enjoying just to climb. That'd be great. Yeah, I mean, that is the #1 goal of everyone here. Hopefully, no more lying. It feels like this said there's so many bugs and you can't trust the patch notes. I still love your games. More says, I assure you, no one is intentionally lying, but I also hear you and get it, taking big steps to make sure things are more solid. That's what the people have been saying. I saw a lot of people like typing like, man, Riot's just lying to everyone. You're a liar, right? There was like some players who are just literally just like typing all caps liar, right? They're unhinged rants are just like typing that word a lot. And that feels like pretty heavy. They're not trying to lie. I think they thought they fixed it, but they didn't. So, and that's a mistake, I guess. But they have done it a lot. I mean, I wouldn't use the word lying. I would just say they messed up like a lot. Knowing the bug exists doesn't mean it's exactly easily fixable or it's possible to fix. Yep, exactly. It's true. I suppose Hyperroll won't be making a return anytime soon. Will it ever? More says it will not. I know the folks who loved it really miss it. I enjoy my rank 1 climbs, but it's just not realistically going to happen given the other things we're cooking. Okay. Hyperroll is dead, guys. 07. Rest in peace. Better avenues for communication with Riot. What did you have in mind? This is a space I'm clearly interested in, but I know your expectations can help frame as something we can do. Yeah. What do they? Riot actually communicates like a lot for a game dev company, coming from like Blizzard, and then like watching my friends like come from Valve or Capcom, right? I just did the Street Fighter TwitchCon thing. A lot of people feel like their communication with the devs are just like non-existent. Riot in general communicates a lot, so I'm curious what they mean, like what they want more. I guess they want Mort to stream again, but a lot of people hate that because a lot of people hated that Mort stream because it felt like they needed to watch more stream to get information. And it's like, well, this is what happened, right? When I said when I said like, oh, people didn't enjoy that fact that they had to go to Mort stream. It's like, well, if he streams less, we just get less communication. It's not like they're gonna go and say, well, here's like I think one suggestion was like update the client and just post every bug in the client and keep the players informed. It's like that's just not gonna happen for like a list of pragmatic reasons. Not even just like not even like whether or not they should or shouldn't. There's like, that's not something that they can do easily. Mainly because the client sucks, but that's just not gonna happen. So I guess is that what they want? They want like people to be like have a website fully updated telling me everything about every interaction and about all the bugs. Maybe they just mean they want to have more like maybe they want more stuff like this. Maybe they want more Q&A like what Mort's doing. Maybe it could be some simple stuff like that. We need a Drew Levin for TFT. Sure, maybe. I mean, I'm a little skeptical because the thing about Drew is that I think he's trying to save the League of Legends relationship with the community, but he's doing it in a way that feels unnecessarily hostile sometimes. But I guess it's because people are hostile toward him. You know, it's just the League community in general. The League community in general is very hostile towards each other. Hey, More, any idea how to fix the Little Legends random feature? No idea, and didn't even know if it was broken. Okay, I didn't know that either. I would love to see Orianna back as a 4-cost instead of Leona or Rel or Alistar. It's been a while for Alistar as a 4-cost tank. I can say we looked into Rel a bunch of times. Her profile is so good for TFT, but the challenge is her kit doesn't have a ton of great spells that fit as well for a TFT unit. So in order to use Rel, we have to get pretty creative. I see. Tons of Yordles. Well, next has Runeterra theme, so we might get Yordle. Please give us a Darken theme set. I'm not sure I have 60 Darken to do that, but Darken are pretty sweet. Darken is Aatrox's his traits. Any mild hint you can give to the set 16 mechanic? Cheers, Mort. Lock. Okay, what does that mean, guys? All right. Is there any other response I missed? I mean, there's a lot of suggestions here. My God. The fact that he even spent, like, this probably took a long time to do. Locking the shop. Oh, locking the shop. This is the PvE dev, by the way. Hoping to see a new 5-cost champion Mort that yells, it's Morton time. And then Mort's all over the place when he casts his spell. The unique trait could be Dogged. A passive that gives your team permanent 1% HD you miss on the roll down. This is the person that developed the PvE game mode. Oh, I'm not following them. I'll follow back. Oops. The thing is, I'm not like as active about that as I should be. Anyways, that's Mortdog's Q&A. You guys, if you want to check out more, I think maybe I'll post this on YouTube since I think probably a lot of people don't use Twitter or don't even know about this Q&A. So I'll probably do that. Overall, I would say that I like the answers that he gives. There's nothing that like immediately like be like, oh my God, are you serious? I think the thing that I would probably want the most is a lot of the quality of life changes that people are talking about. But that's because I play TFT like an excessive amount.